Thank you, colleagues.
Got your point, Madam Chair.
Committee on Health and Human Service will come to order. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Here.
Commissioner Marecki,
Here.
Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Commissioner Colleen,
Presente.
Chair Scott,
Present.
you have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item, please.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
Thank you. I have none this time.
C, approval of the April 30th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Motion.
Move approval.
Commissioner Colleen.
No. Commissioner Marecki.
Okay, so it's the other way around. It's Marecki and Colleen.
No, it's
Oh.
Anderson and Marecki.
All right.
We just look like twins.
Okay, all right. Moved by Marecki and Anderson. So all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next item, please.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, next item.
Item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a 2-year comparable source contract with 3 one-year options to renew with Spectrum Juvenile Justice Services to increase the per diem specialty cognitive treatment bed rate for 5 beds and to decrease the per diem regular treatment bed rate for 5 beds for the secure detention and residential treatment beds for juvenile offenders in the county.
All right, thank you, Director, for being here.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Melissa Fernandez, Director of Juvenile and Youth Services. This is our request for amendment with Spectrum Juvenile Justice Services. They provide our secure residential treatment center here in Wayne County. We are requesting an increase for their cognitively impaired treatment beds. The state recently increased their per diem based on some program changes. And with that, we're decreasing the rate for the regular offender beds. We had a state rate plus 3% match, and we no longer need that. So that rate will be decreased.
Okay, any questions of the Director? Yes, Commissioner Colleen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay. We're not adding any beds.
Correct.
Okay. When you say the state has increased the per diem, does that mean they're sending us money that we get more money, or does that mean does the state set the rate for these beds?
They do for the contracted.
So they
beds.
raised how much?
They raised the per diem for the cognitively impaired beds.
And then they sent us money to help.
Correct. So this is the 50% reimbursement childcare fund.
Okay, but we're not getting any new beds out of this.
We're not getting any new beds out of this. We're hoping to add some beds. I will be at Spectrum tomorrow. Spectrum has a capacity for 160 beds and they're only at 80 beds now. And part of that is due to their staffing difficulties.
Their staffing different.
Correct.
Because, and does state funding have anything to do with that?
I'm not sure. It might. Salary and wages, of course, is always an issue.
How many young folks are we keeping in the JDF for lack of availability of beds?
As of today, there are 45 young people waiting for placement in secure residential treatment.
And that's out of about 120?
That's out of 89 today.
89, half
Correct.
need to be somewhere else.
That is correct.
Okay, and I had one other, question on this. But we do have a few more beds now for cognitive treatment.
We don't have we
Right.
don't have additional beds. We just have a change in per diem.
Oh, just changing the cost.
Correct.
All right, yeah, I am in favor of this, but I was looking for better news than just, well, we shuffled the deck. You get a couple bucks, you get a couple of bucks, nothing changes, on we go.
I'm hoping we will tomorrow. I will be meeting with them tomorrow.
I will be delighted to hear from the department.
Yes, and
I hope I'm delighted.
you will be.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Stay
Madam Chair.
tuned.
I guess it's better than it was last
McCormick?
year.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just talking out loud, that's all. I was just saying it's better than it was.
Okay, you don't have any
No.
questions. Now, is this just in Highland Park or
This is just in Highland Park.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, need a motion, please?
Move to approve item 1, Madam Chair.
Okay. Moved by Commissioner Kling, supported by Commissioner Anderson.
My twin.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a classroom use license agreement and a service provider agreement with a one-year option to renew with Capstone Academy Charter School to continue providing educational programming at the juvenile detention facility.
Okay, Madam Director.
Good afternoon, Melissa Fernandez, Director, Juvenile Youth Services. This is our request to extend our one-year option with Capstone Academy, which is our charter school at the JDF. There's a $1 user fee agreement, but other than that, we're asking for the extension so that when we move, we can issue an RFP for open it up for, see who else is interested in providing education services at the JDF.
Okay. Any questions? Commissioner Kling?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry.
we're paying $1 a year. That's the contract?
Correct. They pay us
Yeah.
a bucket, correct.
Okay.
Where do they get income from? They're
So,
sending teachers over?
so they, right, and so it's the MD, so when they, was it title, you would know, Title 40, is it?
I want to know that.
Yeah.
I was a classroom teacher.
Well, so yes, so
They
they,
get involved in all that fancy.
you know, when we have count days, they bill MD. and
Oh,
they
that's
kind of-
where they get,
Correct.
they get their per pupil funding
You
from the
got it,
state.
exactly.
And do they get it at the same rate
Yes,
as public schools?
they do.
Oh, so they're doing fine.
Yes, they're doing fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Commissioner Marecki?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And they don't have to worry about bribing kids to come to school on
Right, we
count
have a
day.
captive audience.
That's a pretty solid for Friday.
Yeah.
Yes,
So these 45 kids that are awaiting, they're going to this school then?
yes, they are.
So, and I know it's all ages of kids. I don't even know how they can even do this, but do they actually get like tested, the state tests and the?
They do. They actually do. With detention, it's difficult because it's such a transient population, although we've seen the length of stay increase. You know, for secure residential services, they do, but they do get tested.
Okay, and so those 45 kids that have been sitting there for a while are actually going to school every day?
They are, and I believe we actually might have 4 or 5 young people scheduled to graduate this summer with us if they're still with us.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do they have, I don't even know if you know this, but like reading recovery programs for, I'm sure a lot of these kids have reading issues and that
They
type of
do.
thing.
They have reading recovery, math recovery, and they
do.
use the Plato recovery system. They do.
Those are very expensive programs.
It
Reading
is.
recovery is very expensive.
The credit recovery system they have too is challenging because the kids are so transient in the community that they're constantly moving. And so when they first are admitted, the school starts the credit recovery, you know, reaching out to all the schools that they've attended to try to get those credits and give them credit for
Okay.
credits earned.
Oh, that's great. I mean, the commission should send the graduating kids a little something. That'd be nice.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't mean a gift. I
Commissioner-
mean like a little certificate.
Right.
Yeah,
Commissioner
that was the question I was gonna ask. How many graduates this year?
I believe there are 4 or 5, and the plan was to have a little ceremony. So if we do, we will definitely invite you. I know we'll be transitioning to our new site during that time.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you. And speaking of the new site, CJC, when do you anticipate that these kids will be moving into the new facility there?
So we are scheduled to move the end of July. We're now stocking the facility and making sure all of our supplies are there so that licensing can issue that final license.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Word schedule.
Do you, I was going to ask too, does the county for these kids, do they get all their materials like books for them to read and things like that? Have they ever reached out to like the Kiwanis and, you know, they've got a facility here in Michigan that they have just, and actually Detroit has one of the largest, I think it's the first Kiwanis club in the country, maybe in the world even. And they have this huge warehouse of books. And I mean, it'd be something that, you know, might be worth checking out.
Yeah, we definitely will. We're setting up our library and getting books stocked in there and reaching out for donations. So that would be great.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, they have, I mean, I went down there for one of my schools in Norwayne years ago when I was in the Senate, and they gave us just tons of books. And they had a Stephen King book that we had to pull out. I mean, it was a pop-up and they're rare.
No murder threats?
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of gruesome, and thankfully somebody caught it before we got to the kids. But it was pretty exciting to see, and we had 2 big loads of books that they provided for free.
Awesome. I will definitely
Yeah.
reach out.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. I hadn't heard the Kiwanis Club mentioned in years. It's nice to hear.
Madam Chair, I'd like to
Thank you.
move item 2 for approval.
Moved by Commissioner Colleen. It is supported by Mariki. All right. All in favor? Any opposes? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you. Next item, please.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I don't know of any. Next item.
G, public comments.
Is there anyone on Zoom or on the radio? I mean, on the phone, wishing to speak? Do we have anyone?
No hands raised on Zoom.
Thank you. Do anyone in the audience wishes to make a statement? Anyone in the audience? Hearing none, we'll move on. Next item.
Adjournment.
Moved and supported.